Hello my dear students, I am Mrinalini Hirpathak from Ferguson College, Pune, and I have been teaching you Vocational Computer Science, Paper 1, C++. Till now we have taken the review of 11th Standard C++ along with some concepts related to object-oriented programming, which was objects, classes, inheritance and polymorphism. We'll now move on to file handling in C++. Yes students, we'll now look into file handling in C++. I'll first introduce you to what it is about. Then we'll see the file stream classes, how to open and close a file. Then we'll see a program based on file handling. We'll see what are file modes, and finally we'll end with the file pointers in C++. File handling. Now, we know that data is stored in devices like hard disk, floppy disk, CDs, or your pen drives, etc. using the concept of file. So what is file? Basically, file is a collection of related data stored in particular area in a disk. So file can be your text file, your CPP file, any file that is stored in any of the disk, which is hard disk or your pen drive, etc. So that is file. When I say collection of related data, so if I have a file that is C++, then everything in it should be related to C++. Then programs now can be designed to perform a read and write operation on these files. We know, or we have learned, the technique of handling data communication between console and the program. By console, I mean in C++ we just have keyboards. So output is always to the monitors and input is always from the keyboards in the program. So various file handling methods are available for storing and retrieving the data from the file. Basically now students, we have handled everything that is coming from the keyboard or going to the monitors. Now we are going to read these things from a file, maybe a text file that is stored in your disk. Now working with files. Working with files, now this is the program, our program. Okay, so we have some input, we have some output. Now when we are reading the data from the disk file, it is coming from the disk file into the program. So that is data input, and who is handling it is the input stream. Now here stream means flow of data. So stream, we know in English, is flow, water flow from one place to another place. In terms of computers or in C++, it means flow of data. So flow of data from where? From the disk file. So a file that is there inside a disk, and that file, maybe a text file or a CPP file, you are taking it into your program. Now suppose you write something into that file, you make some changes into that file. Now you want to store it back into that disk file. So that is, you are giving out the data or data output. Now this is handled by the output stream class. Yes, so we know this now. The data transfer between the console unit and the program, this is something that we've been doing till now. Console, again I repeat, is the monitor and the keyboard, but there are situations where you are going to transfer this data between the program and the disk file. Actually, this is important. This is what you do when you write softwares. File operations use file stream interface between programs and files. I've already told you that streams that supply data to the program is called as the input stream, and the one that receives the data is the output stream. Now we can also say input stream extracts or takes or reads data from a file, whereas output stream writes the data to the file. Now this is important. When you look at this figure, you should think about inheritance also. So we have this iOS, which is input output. Then we have the iStream class. We have the OStream class, and both are inherited into the IOStream class. Where have you used IOStream till now? So yes, In our programs, we have used the header file iostream.h. So this is from where it is coming to our programs. Now, similar to iStream, we have the ifStream class. You should read it as input file stream. From the OStream class, we have the offstream class, or we can also say it is as OFstream class. So output file stream class, and one class that comes from the IOStream is the file stream. So it has the functions of offstream also and the ifstream also. Let us look at these classes one by one. So yes, the IO system contains a set of files which are defined for file handling methods. Now here methods means functions in C++. So these are the ifstream, the offstream and the fstream classes. Remember now, these are derived from the fstream base class and the corresponding IOStream class. Now let me just show it to you again. So let's say ifstream class, it is coming from the fstream base class and its corresponding iStream class. Similarly, the offstream class is coming from the fstream base and its corresponding OStream class. So we are using it, so we have to declare them at the top or include them if we are going to handle the related functions in our program. So I will have to include the fstream class, fstream.h in my program. So yes, again, stream is general name given to the flow of data. Then different stream are used to represent different data. So input data, output data, and so on. So each stream is associated with a particular class, and it has, this is important, that it has some member functions which will deal with that flow of data in the class. So let us look at them one by one. fstream class. So it provides simultaneous input and output operation. Okay. Then it has the open function. Remember these two brackets, the round bracket opening and closing always imply a function, like main. We use it for main. So it is a function. Similarly, open is a function. So it is associated with the fstream class and it is default input mode. Then it inherits all the functions of the OStream and the IOStream class and the iStream class also. Yes, along with the fstream base class. Then we have the ifstream class. Remember, ifstream is ifstream also, or you can say input file stream also. So we are going to input. We are going to read the data in the program. Okay, so it contains open with obviously input mode. Then we have following functions: get, getLine, read, seekg, tellg, and close. Now, along with, of course, the open function. Now here, G is a get operator. We'll talk about it a little later. Then let's look at the offstream class. Again, read it as output file stream class or the offstream class. It provides, obviously, it close. See, open and close are just going to be there because you have to open a file to handle a file. And finally, when you open a file, once you're done with the job, you should always be able to close it. Now comes the iOS, the input-output part. So it is the general input-output stream class. It contains, that was, remember the basic class that was there, the root class, and from which all the other classes were derived. So it contains all the basic facilities that are used by all the input and the output classes. The iStream class, we have been using it. iStream class is the input stream class. Now the difference is here it is just a stream. So it is not going to handle file. So input is going to handle what? It is going to handle the keyboard. So we have done this getLine and read. It now important things, we know what is inheritance, we know what is operator overloading. In this, it contains the extraction operator which is overloaded. Just a reminder to you, operator originally is the bitwise operator. We have the bitwise left and the right shifts. So this is the bitwise operator. In iStream, it is overloaded, and where it is used, give a thought to it. Yes, it is used with the cin. So we use it with the cin object. So that is the iStream class. Then we have the OStream class, which is obviously the output stream, and it inherits the properties of iOS. It contains output function put and write. So it contains, now this one is overloaded with the insertion operator. That is, again, it is overloaded. It is the bitwise operator, and it is used with the, yes, it is used with the cout statements. Now comes the IOStream, the parent class. So it is the input and the output stream. It inherits properties of iOS, iStream, OStream, and it has, of course, it has multiple inheritance. It contains all the input and output functions. Basically, let me tell you, students, here, till now we have been taking data from the keyboard, giving it to monitors. But when you write a software program for softwares, we are not going to just simply take two numbers and add them. We are going to keep some data in the file, retrieve it again, make some changes, store it back. So it is about keeping or handling this data when the data becomes larger or we want to handle it in a proper manner. Okay. So when we are handling file, any file, so maybe your resume or some notice or anything that comes to you, so that document, the notes that we give you, so all these documents are files. It could be PowerPoint, it could be document, it could be Excel, or it could be a simple text file. So when you handle it, you should have a name to it, you should have opening method, the purpose for which you open, and so on. So now, opening a file. This is not simply like, double clicking on a file in C:, and just opening a file. No, it is about opening a file in your program. Okay, so a file stream class can be defined using ifstream, offstream, or fstream classes. So we can use this in the header file. Remember one thing, if I use only ifstream in the header file, I will get only input functions. If I use only offstream, I will get only output functions. So I need the fstream class if I want to include both of them. So file can be opened in two ways. One is using a constructor function, but this is done when we want to use or open or handle only one file. But when we want to handle multiple files, this is done by using the member function open, about which we have talked earlier that it is available in most of the classes. Yes. Now when we want to open a file, there are certain ways in which we want to open. So the steps that we need to follow is, first we need to create an object. How do you create an object? You need a class name and an object name. So here, the class name will be the file stream class. It could be the ifstream, the offstream, whatever, and some name to the object. Again, this is going to be an identifier, a name. So I always tell you, keep the identifier relevant to what we are talking about. So, example, I've taken ifstream. Fin is the object of the ifstream class. And then, second step is, after creating an object, link the file name with the function open. So here, what I'm going to do, the object, that is the syntax. What object I created here? Fin. And what function I'm going to use? Open. So I say fin dot open, and this is the file that is going to be created. So if it is not there, it will be created. If already a file exists with the name filename.txt, that file will be open in the program. So you can handle data of that particular file. So just like previously we saw open the file for input mode. So again, we have the file stream class and the object. So the file stream class is offstream. The object is fout. And then we need to link it with the function open. So here we have the fout objects with the dot operator. I'm linking it with the function open, and we have again some file name, any file name that you want, file1.txt. So closing a file, simply the file stream object and the function close. So fout1.close, fout.close and fin.close. Now, whenever you open a file in a certain mode, remember to close it. Now, let us see a program for file handling in C++. I'll just read out the definition. This is there for your practicals also. Write a program in C++ that reads the name of the country from one text file and name of the corresponding capital from another text file. The program must display the country name and its corresponding capital in the output. So, I'm trying to show you what we have done. iostream.h and conio.h, we know why we include them. We include the fstream.h also because we are going to handle the files here. Now these things are typical that we have been handling: void main, CLR, SCR. I've taken two variables, I've taken one constant, and then I have declared a character array with this constant. So it will be an array of 20 characters. One array is country array, the other one is capital array. So next one. Now I create the object of the if stream and the off stream class. What are these objects? Yes, for the if stream it is fin1 and fin2. For the off stream is fout1 and fout2. Now we have not put any data in the file. So what are we going to read? So what should be our sequences? We should first put the data, so output data in the file, and then we will see how to read it. So to begin with, I'm going to now first put some data, output some data from my program into that file, and that is going to be this fout open. And now I have created two files here which are country.txt and capital.txt. So fout1, so object 1 is linked with country file, and fout2 is now linked with capital file. So enter the number of countries. Let us say we'll do it for 2 countries so that it is easier for me to explain you. How do I do this? So of course the for loop I have put to handle 2 countries. So let us say first I say enter the name of the country. Once I enter the name from the keyboard, I cannot directly put it into file. I will have to save it in the program somewhere. So for that I have created, if you remember, I have created a country array of 20 characters. So I'll store it in that country array. Okay, so suppose I enter India. It is going to be first stored in the array in my program. Then now the fout overloaded put operator, and I'm going to send country array to fout1. Remember what is fout1? It is the country file. Okay, then I'm going to enter the name of the capital. Suppose I say Delhi. What will happen? fout2. Okay, before that I will store it in the capital array. Then we know that fout2 is linked to the capital text file. So it is going to send it to the capital text file. So Delhi will be written here. Now about these two endl's, why do I need that? Because I need to put the new country that I'm going to place on the new line. So similarly, I've taken next country, say Japan and Tokyo. Once I'm done sending the data, I need to close the 2 files. So fout1 close, fout2 dot close. Why do I need to do that? Because the mode is now going to change. First I was going to output in the same file. Now I'm going to read from that. So I need to close the mode in which I had opened it. So fout1 and fout2. So now let's see how we are going to read from those 2 files. So fin1, again open country.txt and capital.txt. So this is country file, and now it is linked to fin1. This is capital file, and now it is linked to fin2. So we are now going to if fin1 get line. So again, I cannot directly send it to monitor. From that file, I will have to read that line in my program first. So what is the function? Get line. And where do I store it? I will store it in the country array. So again, now from the file, now I'm storing it in the program in country array up to size, or it reaches the \n. Then I print capital of country array. So I have written, so India. Then I say get line, and now whatever I read from fin2 will be stored in capital array, and we say is capital array. So let us see how the output will look like. It will look something like this. So enter the name of the country, India, enter the name of capital. Then for the second country, we'll say enter the name of the country, Japan, and we have entered the capital as Tokyo. Once I'm done with this, when I output it with this while loop, how will it will look like? Capital of country array, which is India, is capital array, which is Delhi. So it will look something like this. Capital of India is Delhi and capital of Japan is Tokyo. Now in this particular program, the endl that you give here is very important, because while reading also, your program reads it till the end of the line, which is \n, which can be given through the endl statement that you have used in the for loop. Okay. So again, once we have opened a file, we have handled it, we have taken the data, we need to close those files also. So we say fin1.close and fin2.close, and of course get ch. So this is the program to handle files in C++. Now see, in this program, we have not just taken something from the keyboard and sent it to the monitors. We have now taken something from the keyboard, we have sent it to a file, then we have taken something from the file and we have put that data on the monitor also. So we are handling the data that is in the file. I will again repeat, this file can be a text file, a document, or whatever you want to handle. Simple thing, in 12th standard we will be handling only the text file. In this case, suppose now country.txt or capital.txt is in your drive, that means the hard disk, that will, in the current drive I'll say, that will be opened, or if it is not there, it will be created. So this is how you handle files in C++. Now we have some modes, which is, you can, like open is a mode in which you open a file. So similar to open and close, we have a few more. So iOS is input is the mode. So iOS append means append at the end of the file. ATE stands for at the end. So go to the end of file. iOS binary is the binary file. Then in is for input mode. No create. So open fail if doesn't exist. So you're not going to create it. You're simply going to, if it is there, you're going to handle it. Exactly opposite to no create is no replace. So it will fail if it already exists. So you're not going to replace it. Then out and trunk. Out is for the output mode and trunk is the contents of the file will be deleted. You can open a file in more than 2 modes using the bitwise operator, which is this. So you can just go on adding the modes. Now each file has an associated pointer. One is the input pointer. I remember the telp and the seekp I told you about. So input pointer and the put pointer. These are used to move through the files when we are reading or writing things into those files. So let us see the default action. So open the file in read only. The pointer will be the input pointer because we're going to read it. We should read it from the start. So input pointer will be there at the first position. Then we are input into our program. When we want to append it, means make some changes to it, it is going to be obviously the output pointer and it is going to be at the end. When we want to write, open the file in write only mode, all the contents will be deleted and the pointer will be at the first or the starting position. So this is about the pointers that are there with us. So get pointer and put pointer. So all the above mentioned actions are default. So you can move the file pointers to the desired positions. There are these 4 functions: seek G, seek P, tell G and tell P. So what does seek G do? This function used to move the file pointer forward with the given number. So I've seen seek pointer, an unsigned integer, matlab it cannot be a negative number, it has to be a positive number. The object, open the file, So 10, this will move the input pointer 10 bits forward. Seek P, this is about the put pointer associated with the off string. Initial steps are almost the same. In this example, we have F out, seek G. This will output pointer to the 10th byte in the file. Tell G again, get pointer. This function is used to return the current file pointer position. This function is associated with the input file stream. So it returns some value. So F in tell G, it will return the current pointer position, and that will be stored in this variable I. Tell P, similar to tell G, tell P tells me what is the position of the put pointer. So it is going to be associated with obviously the output stream. So F off stream stay of F out, I have created an object, opened the file. Again, it is going to tell me the position of the pointer, and then that I will store it in a variable I. Then sequential input output, we have actually know about these functions, the get, the put, the read and the write. Get is the function that is used to read a single character file specified by the object ifstream class. So object and get. So I've created an object fn, open with the open file, so some file norm text, then I say get. Whatever character I entered, it is going to be saved in this character variable C. So get is for single character, get is for reading a single character, and put is to write a single character. So I just simply write the output of object of the offstream class, the put function and the character variable C. So put C. Read and write are similar functions, but they are used generally with the binary file mode. So read function is used to read the data from the file in the binary mode. It is associated with the ifstream class, and write is a function used to write the data in the binary mode. It is associated with the offstream class. Yes, students, today we handled the file. We saw how we are going to write the data to the file or retrieve the data from the file. In the next lecture, we'll now see all the programs that are there in C++, most of them, of course, with control structures or arrays or functions or even the object-oriented programming concept. Thank you, students.